President of Ghana.
An Akufo-Addo administration will make Ghana the center of investments in West Africa, says the president.
Thanks for joining us. It's News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Emmanuel Amagashi.
And I am Ofuriwa Dako. In our first report, the inauguration of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the 5th president of the 4th Republic took place on Saturday at the Black Star Square in Accra. A number of regional leaders attended the ceremony, including the ECOWAS chairman and president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President Idris Deby of Chad, who is the current leader of the AU Commission, and the President of Nigeria, General Muhammad Buhari.
The special guest of honor was the Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara. Saturday's ceremony attracted more than 10,000 people and opens another chapter in Ghana's democratic journey, which began almost 60 years ago with independence in 1957.
Celebration marks the beginning of the Nana Akufo-Addo presidency with Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as vice president. The ceremony began with the vice presidential oath of office. The Chief Justice, Mrs. Georgina Wood, administered the oath of office to the vice president, Dr. Bawumia.
I dedicate myself
to the service
and
the well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana.
The oath of office was administered to Nana Akufo-Addo by Chief Justice Georgina Wood.
I will at all times preserve,
protect,
and
defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
The President, Nana Akufo-Addo, then delivered his inaugural address. In the over 2,000-word speech, Nana Akufo-Addo informed the nation of his intentions as a leader. President Nana Akufo-Addo mentioned some of the country's great heroes, including Emmanuel Obechebi Lamte, Henry Akwaje, Komla Gbedema, Dr. K. Ebuzia, William Oforiatta, Edward Akufo-Addo, his father, Pa Grant, Dr. J.B. Dankwa, and many others who all occupy key places in the country's history. He reminded his audience that Ghana has a history of overcoming challenges through bold action and recreating itself for the better in the process. He hinted that he would work to make positive changes in the country.
We must create wealth and restore happiness to our nation. We can only do this when we have an educated and skilled population that is capable of competing in the global economy. We must expand our horizons and embrace science and technology as critical tools for our development.
The Black Star Square came alive with the gathering applauding in approval when the outgoing president and vice president and their wives shook hands on the podium, a sign of the deepening of the unity and patriotism that has come to characterize Ghana's democracy. Nana Akufo-Addo, as Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, then inspected a Guard of Honor mounted by the Ghana Armed Forces. By inspecting the Guard of Honor, the Ghana Armed Forces affirms its loyalty and respect to the President.
The President of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, has commended Ghana for again consolidating its democratic credentials through a peaceful transition of power. Speaking as a special guest of honor at the inauguration of the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, Mr. Ouattara charged President Nana Akufo-Addo to work hard to meet the expectations of Ghanaians.
I would like to seize this opportunity to reiterate to both of you my warmest congratulations for your brilliant victory in the presidential election of December 7, 2016. Through this act, the people of Ghana have expressed their trust and confidence in you and shown their support for your vision and ambition for Ghana. Your well-known leadership, political commitment, and love for Ghana and Africa will enable you to successfully meet the legitimate aspirations of the brotherly people of Ghana.
Still on Saturday, swearing in the chairman of ECOWAS and president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, has congratulated Ghana for making ECOWAS proud with a successful election and smooth transition of power. President Johnson Sirleaf said Ghana continues to be a bastion of peace and must ensure that the social dispensation in the country is not lost.
The peaceful transition of power in accordance with the will of the people is a sacrosanct pillar of democracy, where the people are free to speak, free to move, and free to choose their destiny. There will always be peace. Where there is peace, every child gets a chance to grow to his or her potential in an environment of tranquility.
Nana Addo Dankwa ascension to the presidency is a combination of steely determination and patience. His journey to the Flagstaff House started in 1998 when he contested the presidential candidacy of his party, the New Patriotic Party, in 1998. In that contest, Nana Akufo-Addo lost to former President John Agyekum Kufuor. He was successful on his second attempt, but lost in the general elections in 2008 to the late Professor John Atta Mills in a runoff. In the December 7 polls, Nana Akufo-Addo emerged victorious in his third attempt. Edward Nyako has details of the story.
The investiture program was built to start at 8 a.m., but as early as 5 a.m., the public stands were filled to capacity. It was a mixture of age group, children, youth, and the elderly. Their aim was to be part of this historic moment, where for the third consecutive time in the Fourth Republic, power changed hands from one government to another. That is, in 2001, ex-President Rawlings handed over power to President John Agyekum Kufuor, who also passed on the baton of leadership to the late Professor John Atta Mills in 2009, but he could not finish his first term. He was succeeded by his Vice President, John Mahama, who ruled for 4 years and lost in the general election to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And just as the 8-year tradition of changing power still goes on, so is also the fact that aspirants like Atta Mills and Nana Akufo-Addo have to seek power for the third time before they could ascend to the highest office in the land. One thing that distinguishes the new president from his predecessors is that his name is not John. From John Rawlings, John Kufuor, John Mills to John Mahama, and now Nana. On the other hand, history beckoned at Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, following the footsteps of his father, who was ceremonial president in the Second Republic. As a feather in the cap of President Nana Akufo-Addo, he is the first person under the Fourth Republic to beat an incumbent president and to win with a difference of over 1 million votes. This, coupled with a desire for change by many a Ghanaian, explained why thousands from all walks of life trooped to the Black Star Square to share in the joy of the new president. Then came the final moment. President Nana Akufo-Addo's speech was conciliatory and touched on the can-do spirit of the Ghanaian.
It is time to define what being a Ghanaian ought to mean. Being a Ghanaian must stand for something more than the holder of a birth certificate or a certain passport. Being a Ghanaian must put certain responsibilities on each of us. Calling yourself a Ghanaian must mean you have signed up to a certain definable code of conduct. Being a Ghanaian puts an obligation on each one of us to work at building a fair, prosperous, and happy nation.
Ghanaians from the diaspora were heavily represented. The expectations were focused on ensuring that the NPP follows through with its promise of reducing taxes and building factories in every district.
Ghanaians sit outside. First of all, our problem is the import duties at the airport. One of the things we wanted a diaspora desk, which will take care of Ghanaians of outside, so that when we come here, you want to set up the business, you don't have to go through a whole process. We know they put it there, it didn't work, but right now we want it to be put in place so that even they can facilitate loan facilities. Some of us have finances outside. We want to make investments here.
I've been in business for the past 25 years in Belgium. So that idea is something special for me. That's where I'm thinking about it.
Most of us are business-minded people, and we bring investors to Ghana. But when you look at the port, you see the taxes that is overloaded on the businessmen. But this incoming government is encouraging the private sector to invest so that we can create jobs for the youth.
One of the issues that won the MPP the 2016 elections was jobs. And these young men are happy that the Nana Akufo-Addo's led government has what it takes to deliver on its promise.
Learning is not an easy task. So if people should cultivate all their hard work to learn, and at the end of the day, they are pushed off the street, then it means that we are in a society of disobedience, where even the indigenous people have been fined as slaves in our country.
If you look at Nana Addo's promise, it was on three thematic areas, and I think Northern region was the focal point in which most of the campaign promises were focused. The one district, one factory, the one district, one dam, particularly was a Northern dominated promise, and I believe it is not a rocket science for that policy to become feasible.
By 2020, these young men and women who assembled at the Blaster Square will be called upon again to give verdict on the Nana Akufo-Addo's government. But as he put it in his speech, the success of a government will be determined by the quality of life it brings to bear upon the lives of the people, and not what the government claims it has done. Edward Nyako, reporting for GBC24.
At Saturday's inauguration, GBC24 interacted with some 2016 presidential candidates. They say, given the country's scarce resources, Nana Akufo-Addo's appointees must have the requisite skills, integrity, and commitment to work hard for the benefit of all Ghanaians. The CPP Cyber Green Street, Kofi Akpaloo of IPP, and Akwesi Adayodike were at the investiture of the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, and said with the right team, making good the campaign promises will be a matter of time.
The most important thing is for him to have a clear roadmap as to how all of these things are going to occur, how much time it will take, so how he will plant that seed and indicate to them what can be achieved over 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and what his expectations are in terms of achieving that. There's a clear sense of determination, and there's a clear understanding that these are the promises that they have made. And so I believe that they would like to win again in 4 years, so they'll do everything they can to try and ensure that they meet as many of their targets in terms of their policies and programs as possible. And I think all Ghanaians should wish them well, because if they achieve them, then we all stand to benefit as a people.
The approach should be like bringing in or surrounding himself with competent men and women who have the nation at heart, to go all out to fight for this country, to create jobs and to create wealth, and also to help more people who want to go into their own businesses, and also encouraging more people to become investors. I'm talking about indigenous investors. If you look around, those that he has surrounded himself at the moment, especially talking about Kandapa, talking about Frimpong Boateng. Now, I mean, you can see all these guys, they will deliver. So, and I believe they are equally good men and women out there who are going to be appointed into places. So I believe the way he has started it, if he keeps it up, my brother, Ghana will receive the best.
Ghana should put the businessmen up front so that we can draw businessmen into this country. Also, Nana must surround himself with men of integrity, men of wisdom, men who are astute in all the facets of the economy, so that we can ignite the growth Ghanaians are yearning for.
It's still News Hour, live on GBC24 and Ghana Television. Moving on to other stories. Magnificence, pomp, splendor and pageantry are how some Ghanaians describe today's inauguration of the new president. To them, Nana Akufo-Addo's investiture was a clear indication that Ghana's fledgling democracy has scored high marks to the world.
There was virtually nowhere to stand at the Black Star Square. The crowd was from across the length and breadth of the country. All made it to the venue to be part of history. Another peaceful transfer of power. They described the ceremony as simply beautiful.
It's unique, the passing of power, the changing of power. We're learning democracy in the right way. And we, as the traditional rulers, are here to support it because that's the way we want Ghana to go.
I'm happy everybody is here. You can see that NDC, especially the former President Rawlings, is here. John Dramani Mahama is here. You can see maybe those who come from outside. A lot of people are here. And today you can see that either MPP or NDC, all of us are now Ghanaians. So that we pray for Ghana to be better for all of us.
I have seen ceremonies. I have seen ceremonies in the past. And compared to this one, this is super. Very, very uncomparable to all the others.
The NPP rode into the lead in the 2016 election on the back of a number of campaign promises, which include one district, one factory, Zongo Development Fund, $1 million per constituency, and one village, one dam for the 3 regions of the north, among others. Some Ghanaians GBC24 spoke to at the ceremony said they had faith in the Akufo-Addo administration and that their promises will be delivered in good time.
There will be
is a trustworthy person. He's the man of the people. He's so committed to the development of this country. He has promised one district, one industry. He said he will restore the teachers and nursing training allowances, and we have that confidence in him that these things will be chalked before the next election.
He said he will give you free maternal care. That is your birth. And then you have your education for free. And then he will give you one district, one factory. Perhaps he's spoon feeding you. He's giving you all. So you have every cause to be prosperous. With these policies in place, I think Ghana will move. We'll move from developing country to a developed country.
I think that he's going to bring a lot of investors to come and assist. All the promises that he has, he's going to make it. So it's definitely to come up.
God has heard our prayers. And having prayed for God to bring this manifestation of prayer, the next thing we need to do is to do what Solomon did. Number 1, humble himself. Number 2, pray. Number 3, seek my face. And number 4, turn from their wicked way. Then will I hear from heaven to heal the land.
Some also asked the president to focus more on the task ahead to lift up the nation's economy.
Many supporters and sympathizers of New Patriotic Party, the NPP, travelled from far and near for the historic inauguration of the President Nana Akufo-Addo. For them, this marks the beginning of a new dawn for Ghana, for which reason they pledged to do their utmost to lend support for a successful tenure of office.
Maybe papa na kuta afra ne keke obe boyen na be boyen e ma ne da na koma so enti obe ye nwuma pa ama ye manom ye nananom omanya ahoto.
I am coming from Savulugu constituency in the northern region. We have to come from wherever we are coming from because this is going to be a new beginning for the development and prosperity of Ghana. The leadership and government of Nana Akufo-Addo is going to be a government of prosperity, a government of peace and unity, a government that will fulfill the dreams of our forefathers, that's Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, his father, the late Addo, and all the big guys who fought for the independence of this country.
I am from Volta region.
Kliko Aguzuma to be precise. It is because of the love I have for President-elect Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. His promises, especially the free education, because I have 2 daughters, and once this free education thing can come into full force, I believe strongly that my 2 daughters will benefit from it, and my entire family is going to benefit from that.
Nanado would don't see and fitting Naminai. My sleeper bumpire said the other papadu, a best so. If you namin your media chira woy, and I'm a bandit and Nakufuadu, Nanado. Papa, they were man, and because of the Nadunti, me turn to my touch, Mabonuka 5 million because of the Nadunti.
Mikromuni, Nanado, or Chiniba, Achenko no Bremu, Senda wo di president ya. And now yes, me ba. Na me ba ka ho ye nyina ho so so no mo wan so no mo ni nyina di ni se akonya no so as a Ghana president. Ni atoso mienu. Me magana fo nyina ate ase se. Na Akufo-Addo ba wo share no. Aben fa so ma obi biara wo ba ko school. Me gina ho me ma mienu ana ebe wura secondary school mu. Na the say about free education no. My statistics bi ahu se me ma ni mienu no ya je me 12.9 million. And it's 12.9 na ba na so timi sa de no a. A year now, and I say 10 no. Minya adwuma bia ma na Akufo-Addo so manya 12.9 million at the agumi bottom.
So help me God.
Now, security at the inaugural grounds of the new president, Nana Akufo-Addo, was at its best. Though the security agencies were tight-lipped about the number of personnel deployed, some estimates suggest they could number about 5,000. The police were there in their numbers. The military was delighted to watch. The Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Sefasata, described the performance of the security personnel as excellent.
In security, you always prepare for the worst case scenario. It is better to be over prepared and not record any incident than to prepare ordinarily and then be overtaken by incident, so that you say, oh, I should have done. No, so it is better like this. It's not because we are expecting anything to happen, but it's because we expect to have a peaceful event. Manage it such that nothing will mar this event. So we have deployed personnel very extensively to ensure that every blade, every grain of stone, of granite here is covered.
Well, Nana Akufo-Addo is now President of the Republic of Ghana. At today's colorful swearing-in ceremony, he took the oath of office, pledging to meet the aspirations of his countrymen. With his 40 years of experience at the bar and given his record as a politician who believes strongly in the rule of law, Nana Akufo-Addo finds himself in the Flagstaff House with a duty to hold high the benchmark set by his father, Edward, who was a Supreme Court judge and later ceremonial president in the Second Republic.
President Nana Akufo-Addo's inaugural ceremony can be summed up as optimistic, reassuring and patriotic. We now bring you some memorable lines from his address on Saturday.
Earlier, some of our regional correspondents sought the views of members of the public on the presidential inauguration. In the eastern region, some described the ceremony as colorful and showed the unity of Ghanaians. Others hoped President Nana Akufo-Addo would fulfill the promises he made to the nation.
What's your expectation of the new government?
My expectation is that we expect that the new government should try and fulfill his promises. The one village, one dam, the teachers' allowances, and that $1 million, one district. That's the promises that he made. So we just want him to fulfill the promises. When he fulfills the promises, Ghana don't have problem with him. And everybody in Ghana now should follow the president, because now he is our president. So we don't have anything to do than to attend to the president, so that we'll get all what we want from him and cooperate with him so that to get what we want.
So, my brother, we were talking about expectations, and can you share with us what your expectations are for?
On this new wishes for good health, a good thing for himself. But we are happy that we went through the election successfully without any chaos. We're happy for that, because everything man of peace is nothing. But our expectation is the youth. The youth. If you get the youth, if the government was able to create jobs for the youth, this kind of nonsense and conflict will not be. It will be a thing of the past. And another aspect is our education. The education, especially the school fees. These people cannot even pay school fees for their wards. And I'm expecting that the government should come and do something so that it cushion the people, so that we can educate their children more. And also, going back to our electricity. Electricity, the bills are too much for the people, and that of water bills. The bills are too much. If the government can come and provide something so that there will be some kind of subsidy, so that people can, the standard of living will change for the best.
Could you tell us why this excitement is going on?
Thank you very much. They are all happy. The market women are happy because they have confidence MPP is going to deliver. MPP is going to deliver. All the market women, when you pass through the town, everybody is jubilating. They are happy. You know, MPP was in power from 2001 to 2009. And they saw the good things that MPP did. His Excellency John Ejekum Kufuor did a very good work. That is why they have confidence in MPP, and they voted for us overwhelmingly. So everybody is happy. When the president is delivering his message today, he mentioned a number of things that is going to help the country. That's why he also chose Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be his vice president. He is the best economist in the country now, and he's going to deliver. He has promised so many things that he's going to reduce taxes. People are happy, the businesses are happy that the MPP will help them to develop the country. And we are all happy that MPP is in power and the Akufo-Addo is also going to deliver.
At 9:30 tonight, Ghana Television will play back this morning's inaugural ceremony of the President Nana Akufo-Addo and his vice, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
We are back shortly. Welcome back to the business segment. The need to protect the environment, including water bodies, was high when Ghana's new president, Nana Akufo-Addo, addressed the nation for the first time. He urged Ghanaians to ensure that the environment is not destroyed to the detriment of future generations. Edward Nyako has more.
We should all recognize the danger we face by the alarming degradation of our environment and work to protect our water bodies, our forests, our lands, and the oceans. We should learn and accept that we do not own the land, but hold it in trust for generations yet unborn, and therefore have a responsibility to take good care of it and all it contains.
During his inaugural speech, the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, said his administration will work hard to position Ghana as a center of investments in West Africa. He said even though the terrain ahead is rocky, his government has confidence in the potential of the Ghanaian to put a shoulder to the wheel of development to build the country to a level matched by any in the world.
Saturday, January 7, saw Ghana's new president hold high the sword of office. The Nana Addo administration is now officially to begin rolling out his policies for his industrialization agenda. In his inaugural speech, Nana Akufo-Addo challenged Ghanaians to be at the center of the change and job creation agenda.
We have an exuberant and young growing population that wants the best of what the world has to offer and will not settle for third world or developing world standards. We have an adventurous people who are in a hurry for success. I have no doubt that the talents, energies, sense of enterprise and innovation of the Ghanaian can be harnessed to make Ghana the place where dreams come true.
He said his administration will focus on restoring the integrity of the public sector and pledged to protect the public purse.
We must restore integrity in public life. State coffers are not spoiled for the party that wins an election, but resources for the country's social and economic development. I shall protect the public purse by insisting on value for money in all transactions.
Nana Akufo-Addo said his agenda is to make Ghana the preferred destination for business.
The doors of Ghana are open again. The shutters are up again. There could not be a better opportunity to make in Ghana and to make it in Ghana. Ghana is open for business again.
The president urged all to do their best in their respective corners to help push forward the plan for development and economic growth.
Well, still on business, President Nana Akufo-Addo has pledged to reduce taxes by protecting the public purse and insisting on value for money. On Saturday, President Nana Akufo-Addo said the business of leadership is to serve and Ghanaians should not expect anything less from him. He added that money should be made from the private sector and not the public sector. Thousands gathered at the Black Star Square for the investiture of the president and his vice. It was also a special sitting of the 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic.
We have an exuberant and young growing population that wants the best of what the world has to offer and will not settle for third world or developing world standards. We have an adventurous people who are in a hurry for success. I have no doubt that the talents, energies, sense of enterprise and innovation of the Ghanaian can be harnessed to make Ghana the place where dreams come true.
Let's talk sports now. The world's football governing body, FIFA, has given licenses to 21 Ghanaian referees in Accra. They were presented with 2017 FIFA badges.
7 male referees, 3 females, 7 assistant male and 4 assistant females received their 2017 badges at a ceremony at the headquarters of the GFA. All of them have passed the test and physical condition exercises. The referees were Abdul Latif Adari, Prosper Adi, William Magbufi, Cecil Amate Flesher, Daniel Ni Ayilai, Joseph Odate Lamte, and Reginald Ladridge. The assistant referee include David Nelson Ajin, Paul Kojo Atimaka, Ibrahim Adams Beidu, David Lionheart Ni Late Lai, Eric Nantre, Daoud Brahima Yamdogo Odragu, and Malik Alidu Salifu. The female referees were Delight Alobu, Joyce Obenewa Apia, Teresa Bremansu, and Teresa Kunyam. The female assistant referees are Alice Fauzia Chakule, Millicent Kano, and Millicent Todd. Some executive committee members of the Ghana Football Association urged them to live above reproach.
It's been a long time that we had our referees. We have AFCON coming up. Unfortunately, we don't have a Ghanaian referee representing us. But I have a belief that in future, we'll have more referees going to that level to make us proud. I want to urge you that this season, as you receive your badges today, you go out and set yourself targets, showing that you are going to officiate to the best of your ability, to the best of your knowledge, and don't compromise on issues.
Some referees promised not to disappoint.
It is not easy to defend this badge. I've defended it for exactly 10 years today that I have my first FIFA badge. So I feel privileged to be honored again with this badge.
Last season was very good for us, especially in the Ladies League. I had a lot of opportunities to officiate a lot of matches to the extent that I even officiated the final Ladies League matches. It's a very great honor done me. This year I expect to do more than I did.
I work very hard and I'm here. And you know, every referee dream is to become a FIFA referee one day. And here I am. Now what is next for me is to work hard and pray hard so that one day you see me in the World Cup.
The referees sang the anthem.
In tennis, former world #1 Rafael Nadal is out of the ongoing Brisbane International. Nadal lost 4-6, 6-3, 6-4. Now, in NBA action, the Houston Rockets secured a dramatic 118 points to 116 victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Toyota Center.
In entertainment tonight, they were there in their numbers to add to the fanfare and merrymaking at the Black Star Square on Saturday morning Former presidents, foreign dignitaries, invited guests, and the man on the street all lent support to the colorful investiture of the President Nana Akufo-Addo, which earned Ghana's Democratic March a gold star in the eyes of the world. This was a resplendent platform of dancing, drumming and singing. Proudly on display was a kente cloth matching their respective traditional sandals. The president himself was decked out in his unique kente cloth with a henema, and the vice president in a white agbada. First Lady Rebecca was also adorned in a patterned kente cloth. Wife of the vice president, Mrs. Samira Baumia, was also colorfully decked out for the occasion. But take a look at these women and their different kente clothes. The traditional leaders also added a touch of beauty to the occasion.
Yesi obremponi ohini bia no ohima bia sasa wo fa afade a efata mo bia hu se wo ye tete nipa ade e wo ho tete ya beto ya ye nananom oja agudie ana wa obetumi aye wagudie ne bia ka ho wo de akora wo man no so oman bia wo mu a se wo ye densoa eye wo a wo hwe oman no so no ese wo ye densoa nti ya afade e wo ho.
It was a good blend of southern and northern traditional outfits on display in a variety of styles.
It's a northern regalia. This is the way chiefs up north dress. You, as a chief, when you are to be crowned as a chief, this is the way they normally dress you. So from the day of your enskinment onwards, you are expected to maintain that unique dressing of a northern chief.
For the Ghanaian, this was a time to drop all partisan and tribal walls in favor of cultural heritage. The weather report up on your screens.
Keep watching the Weather Report and do have a splendid evening. Have a good night.
And thank you, Thomas Ando from the Weather Center. And this is how we end News Hour.
Thanks for watching.